like 247 the calendar copy coming out the cover.
In just one flex, you just
No,
want
no,
show
no,
that
no.
says Sabi rap.
So
That's
so
a crazy stage name. You can steal it if you want to.
if you like, my past can be your present and future. Don't
Sounds
worry.
like a course. Hi, with the boy, the girl from my Elechis.
And your main man Chinedu Stanley Elechis.
And together we are
The Elechis.
Hey,
Chee.
you know what I mean now.
Normal level.
So yeah, you know, the last episode we spoke about marriage and all that, but this episode we're going to be talking about something very dear to us.
Drum rolling. Fish. Spoken word poetry.
This is all about poetry today. Yeah, so I'm going to be asking questions as usual. He's going to be asking me as well. First question for him is, what inspired you to start writing spoken word poetry?
What inspired me to start writing poetry? Because I wanted to be heard. So that was what inspired me. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be a voice. Yeah, I didn't want to just be a noise. So I wanted to be a voice and not a noise.
That's cool. So what part of culture do you think you have actually inspired?
Okay, I've inspired the culture of how people see God. How people see God, like not seeing God as scary, seeing God as a friend. I've inspired the culture of faith. How people go through life, how they see themselves. So I think I've inspired the culture of making people think, have a second thoughts, see things differently. You understand? Because I'm saying this based on reviews I've gotten from some persons. So I think, yeah. And you don't know, I might have inspired a change that I might not be aware of. Because when you do poetry, you just do it, people receive it differently. Yeah. So I think I've considered inspiring a change one way or the other.
But now that you have achieved your inspiring culture that you wanted to do as a child, like, do you see yourself stopping poetry anytime?
Never.
But you have inspired what you needed to inspire.
I'm not done inspiring.
You're not done inspiring.
I'm still inspiring.
Never finished.
I'm still inspiring. I inspire with my words. So I'm not done till Jesus comes. I'll keep inspiring culture because you never stop renewing your mind. You don't just renew your mind and say, so why do you stop brushing your teeth? You have to brush your teeth every day. So that's how I'll renew people's mind every day. Every time I climb on that stage, every time I scribble my words on that piece of paper.
I thought you were going to say, anytime I climb on that stage, anytime I scribble my word on that page.
Oh, that's crazy. I never thought of that.
Oh.
I don't really play with words. I wasn't trying to do poetry, I was trying to be passionate. Okay, so let me ask you a question now. What's made you to start writing poetry? What inspired you to start writing spoken word poetry?
My story long.
Yeah, now cut it short. Tell us your story. Or you can say it long.
I feel like I don't even have it. At first, I feel like God dragged me into this. It was a setup,
God,
right?
thank you for dragging now.
It was a setup.
God,
I feel like it was a setup because one particular day I just got on stage and I was not really happy, so I did not rap. I just talked my rap, and when I came down, people were like, oh, "Wow, you do spoken word poetry too." I was like, "What's spoken word poetry?" And yeah, I started browsing about it. That was when I discovered Jackie Perry. Big shout out to Jackie Perry, Preston Perry, Ezekiel Zonwu, Genetic, Chris Well. Those were the people I started listening to and started writing poetry. I stumbled into it. And I started studying their way of life and how they write, and that's how. And so transitioning from rap to poetry was easy because poetry and rap, they are the same thing. One has just follow some kind of beat and the other one.
I think I think that's something similar. At some point, when I was writing it then initially as a kid, I was not doing it on stage. So it was lying, it did not resonate from the page. It was just lying dead on the page. You understand? For a very long time. Then I was okay. I didn't see much people doing spoken poetry. It was more of rap, so I started rapping. So when I used to rap, then they used to think that you sound like a poet. They gave me a name 9 minutes.
That's a crazy name.
Yeah, they told me to rap. I must rap for 9 minutes. I just start rapping. And
that's a crazy stage name. You can steal it if you want to.
Yeah, if you like. My past can be your present and future.
Sounds like a course.
So So I just say, so my friend, one of my friends said, no, you sound like a poet. Like, you know the way Kendrick Lamar sound now? Like 247, the calendar copy coming out the cover.
He just want flex. He just want
no,
show
no,
that say it's a big rap.
So those kind of
that
like,
where you are that one.
You know, calm down. They told me
I don't say it's a big rap.
So no, man, you know, that's not rap. I'm just trying to wrap things up with my words. So when I started doing that, so that's okay. You sound like a poet. That's okay. Let me start doing poetry. So let me start talking my rap, like you said, not like rap sharp, but let me do it in a way that.
It was very deep. The first time I heard this man, like everybody around him, like, oh, bro, we need to get dictionary. My God.
Well, it's not that deep again.
But now it's very easy to understand.
So now I write for everybody. I don't just write for the lecturers.
For the
philosophers. So I write for everybody to understand. Like I haven't yeah. So then I was just trying to. I didn't see most people doing what I was doing. So I write. And it was just me. And it was over time that I now started okay. If people don't understand, you're not communicating. So I now try to like make it simple.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the most difficult poetry that you have written?
I feel like all my poetry takes a lot of time.
Okay.
I write poetry in 3 months. There's one I'm writing now, and I'm currently in the 3rd month. So obviously I'm finishing it this month. Like, do you get all of them? I feel like they're tough because I can start in the 1st month and I'm not just getting peace. I'm just going to be struggling. Like I get the beginning 1st month, get the middle 2nd month.
That's good though.
Yeah.
The beginning, the body, and the end.
Do you get? So
like,
that's how I write.
Burial and resurrection.
Hey. And
so
there's
on
a period.
the 3rd month there's a resurrection of the dead.
That's it though. But you like.
Okay.
What's the most toughest?
I do I have the most toughest?
He writes under 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Dare him to write now. He will write a spoken poetry piece, 5-minute poetry piece now.
But the thing is that
weird.
If I'm always in the mood to write, I'm always if I'm not distracted, if my mind is on like if my mind is on creativity, if my mind is not busy, I don't really have issues writing. I'm always on poetry, you understand? But if I'm very busy, it's very hard for me to harness my creativity. I look as I'm trying to induce it, and most times it's very, very difficult. But naturally, I don't take time to write. Yes. And most of my best
take time to write.
Most of my best pieces was written under 24 hours or a week. So I don't know how to write on book.
Tap from your grace, bro.
I don't know how to. I write on my phone. Yeah. So I write on my phone. When I'm going on the road, I just go like write on my phone quickly like that. That's how I write. Then later on, everything I've written on my phone, I'll bring them together. I'm like, okay, this is a piece. So, but there's a piece I wrote for 3 months. Yeah, that was Gravestone. I'll never perform that piece again. That piece, then I was.
It was scary piece. I don't know.
It's too scary.
That was just.
I did a piece in a burial ceremony. It was very, very creepy. So I just felt that no, I won't do that kind of piece.
What was going through my mind?
It was actually jungle justice. It was about jungle justice. You understand? So I wanted people to feel the pain of somebody dying.
It was creepy.
Yes.
I bet you.
You actually start feeling dead. You put yourself in the pain situation. So
can you just? I don't want to remember.
Yeah, so that was like the most. So I wanted to just put all my creativity in the piece, all my expertise in him. So I took time to. It was very metaphorical, and so. But apart from that, I don't take time to write my piece.
Can I tell you guys one fun fact? Weird. I don't know if anybody has ever heard this, but do you know that my first ever spoken word poetry that I wrote very well? Do you know that he was my mentor? He was the one that mentored. That time I never did I am like that.
I don't want my head to be big. So.
I never went into I am like that. We're not dating, we're just friends. And it's like, bro, and it was strict. Do you know what was annoying?
Yeah, I'll say a philosopher.
Like he was so strict, and I wrote a poetry piece. I think that particular poetry piece, to God be the glory, did so well. So I wrote a poetry piece. I don't know if you know In Love Again. I wrote a poetry piece, and I wrote in a way that, bro, you'll never know anything. But yeah, it was very hidden. Truth was hidden in that piece. So I told him, I sent it to him. It was like, open up the piece, Jerry, that this from here to toe. Say, nah, it's not like I should open up the piece. No, yeah. That's not making any sense like that. Like I'm using water. Like, I should just open up the piece
be real.
and be real, yeah. So
talk your truth.
I felt so bad. I was like, God, you know how long? Like I told you, it takes me months. Like, you know how long I wrote. Like, I was like, no, just do it this way. And I feel like that moment changed my life forever, because now when I write, you be like, this girl. But yeah, I owe it to him, because if he had not opened my eyes to writing in a certain kind of way, I don't think people would be hearing a lot of like amazing piece. You understand, from me. It would be more like I'll just be hiding it, and the stars went up and break into the moon. You will not know what I'm actually saying. You get? So he was like, open it up, and so far so good. I've been opening up, right? I've been writing it like clear, like you can understand it very, very well. And so I actually, when he told me that I had to tear the entire page and start afresh, that was how In Love Again was bettered. If you have watched In Love Again.
The thing about writing is that don't be rigid, be flexible. If you write something, just like an artist, you have paint, you can do something and you're not feeling it, you cover the paint again. You start like until you get it, you don't stop doing it.
I wanted to be very abstract, but he understood that abstract was not my thing. You understand? Because there's some people that are abstract and they're very good at abstract. Do you understand? They'll do abstract, but you understand it like clearly. Do you get? But abstract was not my thing, and he knew it from the start. And it was like, oh, do it this way, and I was able to like do it, and they were like, oh, cool. You understand? So I have a question for you.
All right, now shoot.
What has been the most painful word you've heard concerning poetry? Like your poetry piece, like maybe people tell me, oh, it's not cool, or people not clapping on stage. What is that one thing that hurt you so much in poetry?
What has hurt me so much? What? Me, sometimes it's where I am. I don't really care.
Get us.
I just do go there and do my thing and get out. But I think the thing that has hurt me the most was when someone was trying to compare me with somebody else. In terms of like, because my style is my style. I do poetry for the culture, for the love, and for the change I'm trying to inspire. So when I'm trying to make me sound like somebody else, because this person,
you feel successful.
He's successful, but as a style or no, I don't like it. So I think then we were doing for a very long time, and I didn't like that comparison.
So
I want to sound like somebody else, and I cannot sound like somebody. I have to sound like me. I have to own my voice, and also I think that was the only time when you try to compare. I don't like when you try to compare me. So then, but over time I got over it. I'm unapologetic about my style, about what I do. But I still pay attention to critics because it helps me to be better.
Yeah, it sure does.
So you tell me that you have done like this, I don't really understand, like you were too fast when you were talking, so those things are not okay.
Me, my worst experience was when somebody I held in high esteem told me that I did a poetry piece, and he came and told me that I'm doing prose. I'm doing prose.
But now you're a pro.
Like I felt really bad, because like, you know, when someone that you respect so much, like the person just woke up to you, I'm like, man, that's not poetry, that's prose. And I'm like, well, if you listen to my poetry, you know that I'm a storyteller, right? From In Love Again to Hotel Corinthians to Coat of Many Colors, I'm a storyteller. But it's pure spoken word poetry, man. Like it's pure spoken word poetry. It's not. I don't do prose.
I don't do prose.
It broke me, but
Don't take it personal. But learn from whatever they say. Like be sincere with yourself. If it's true, work on it. But if it's not true, don't care about it. Just do your thing, because some people
don't let it break you. This is how it works, right? A lot of the times we do spoken word poetry, right? Like on this stage, and the stage they are like, yay, they love it, all of that. You can even come down stage because everybody's going to try up you, they drag you, you get. But you perform that same piece like on another stage, and they are like, as if person died. People just don't look you like this. You get? So I feel like it's different to different reactions. So different people with different way they accept or receive your kind of poetry, right? So when they say no, and you look into it deeply and you see that, oh, it was cool regardless, don't really care about it. But if you know that, oh, now I know why they said no, right? Or they wrote why they said no, then work on it. But if it's not, like, it makes no sense, like somebody telling me, oh, you do prose, change, and I start changing to start maybe sounding like him, which is the most difficult, I'll lose my essence. That's
be yourself.
it.
Don't try to be like somebody else.
Don't try to
be yourself or be your best self.
Exactly.
Just be your best. Don't try to sound like somebody else. Outside poetry,
differently.
Outside poetry to apply to every areas of your life. Just be yourself and be your best self. So I think with these 3 points of ours, we're able to convince you and not to confuse you that you should be yourself.
And you should be a poet.
You should be a poet. If you love to be a poet, you don't want to be a poet, be whatever you are.
Be a poet. You don't be a
be a plumber, be
a plumber, poet.
An engineer, be a doctor.
Poet.
Poetry is actually life. I think poetry actually saved my life.
Try it right.
Yeah, poetry saved my life.
Just try it right.
God is a poet.
See, every experience you experience here, just try to put them right.
Yes.
Yeah. You come up one of the most toughest.
Yeah. So I think poetry is beyond poetry is actually beyond the stage. Even if you do it on the stage, it's beyond it's beyond the applause of people. Poetry is a ministry. If you approach it as a ministry and you do it to inspire people to change lives, you use your words.
Do you know that? Let me push your brain. Do you know that what causes war sometimes?
It's words.
It's just words.
Yes, words.
So you should know how was the world created.
Words.
See how powerful the tongue is. Like even the scripture has to acknowledge the tongue.
If you want to fight your wife, you want to fight your wife, just go and tell her how she. You want to fight your siblings. And words are things. Words are spirits.
So you should know that you can change.
And Bible says the power of life and life and death is in the power of the tongue. So your words can create life. It can.
I bet you take poetry seriously if you're a poet out there. Man, because another thing too that I miss so much, like I'm seeing a whole lot of powerful poets. Like I know them, I respect them. We've worked together a couple of times, and I'm not seeing them put out stuff anymore. They're good.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I tell my husband every day, this stuff hurts me the most. Do you understand? Like these people are good, man.
Yeah.
And they're not doing stuff anymore. Please, if you are that poet, repent. See, I set you free.
Repent for the king of wisdom.
I set you free from that shackles. Because another thing too, like you know all the big names that we respected way back, David Bodem, Jackie Perry, Ezekiel, Genetics, Chris Webbs, Joseph Solomon, Preston Perry. They stop.
John Gogesin,
Why? I'm not saying no content no more. Like, why? What flew?
What flew?
Please, man.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, man.
Don't give up. Let me borrow the words from one of my friends, Toby Abiodun. Say, what if you give anything, but we don't need to give up?
Warrior, no, they give up.
So don't give up.
Don't give up.
Just keep doing your thing. Okay?
Yeah. Love you guys.
God bless you.
Bye.